episode is brought to you by Munchies. If you're high, eat Munchies. If you're a lazy person sitting on the couch that doesn't have a job at 12 a.m. or at 12 p.m., eat Munchies. Munchies, delicious source for all lazy people.
Yo, what do you eat at 12 o'clock when you don't got a job at home? Like, what's your munchie?
Doritos.
Yeah, this would be a great song for a UFC fighter from Miami.
Cause bitch, I'm alive. All right. How's everybody doing out there, people? We could kill that. We've had technical difficulties already with some of that stuff, and I get really hyped in here. I don't want to get crazy. So yeah, people, how's everybody doing? It's another episode of the Everyman Show, episode number 9. We're getting close to a 10th anniversary, Mr. Goodnight, with 2 T's.
Yeah, the only reason why we played that song to start, because they only know one black. They only got one black friend.
There's a reason why we played that.
Oh, hold up. We should just go around the room and ask people how many black friends they have, so we can prove that theory that
we already had that topic. We had that one. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, John Everyman. With me, as always, are the usual suspects. Mateo.
That.
Exactly. Mr. Goodnight with 2 T's.
I'm still here. They ain't pay me shit yet.
We're getting that Monero for you soon.
Yeah.
Our fearless producer, Noodles. Shout out to him. I know he's focused. He's got his Oakland A's hat on. He's not joking. And we got a special guest in the house today, Manny.
Hello. Great to be here.
Garavito, right?
Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you, man.
Sounds good.
It sounds soothing. I feel good with my soul right now. But yes, people, we are here. We got a special guest in the room. But before we get to you, Manny, I wanted to point out a couple things before we get there. Number one, ironically, today's March 9th, and last episode we had a conversation about Biggie and Tupac and their murders, but it's ironic that we had that the week before. That should have made sense this week, but rest in peace, Notorious B.I.G. You know what, real quick, Mateo, on the last one you weren't here, and we all had the conversation, we learned that the Everyman Show is a Tupac house. Are you a Tupac fan or Biggie?
Man, Biggie is a far superior rapper. But Tupac's movies are really hell yeah.
Christ.
Tupac, Hennessy with my enemies in the penitentiary.
You must have just heard the last 2 albums of Tupac.
Nah, Tupac's cool, but Biggie's fucking amazing. But Tupac as an actor makes me like Tupac a little bit more.
Well, just to give it a little perspective there on your answer. First of all, Biggie didn't do movies like Tupac did. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, but that's why he did other things. That's what I'm saying. He's multifaceted.
Yeah.
Like, Tupac could have really lived on to be whatever. Like, Tupac, 5 years later, he could have been a lawyer. He could have been a politician. He could have murdered a bunch of people, and you would have been like, yeah, it fits.
Yeah, like, listen, Tupac was all gravy. Biggie just had, he had more limitations in terms of his career, I think.
Yo,
Biggie
he fucked Lil' Kim, though.
Yeah, but that's not saying much nowadays.
Yeah,
or even
true.
Back then.
I don't know, man.
But just know you live in a Tupac house.
Yo, how many posters of Lil' Kim are too many to have at your crib? Because I got the album cover. Like,
just so long as none of it's sticky. That's all I'm going to say. Manny, you know what? I know you're a special guest in here. And like I said, we'll get to you. But quick question, man. Are you a Tupac or Biggie fan?
Look, man, I don't want to get involved in any beef from the 90s.
Okay, you don't want to resurrect any East Coast, West Coast hard feelings?
I don't want to contribute to that because then, the killers are probably still out there. And if you're choosing one side, they probably got you in their crosshairs next.
Some say it was Suge Knight, for Tupac's. Well, you know what? Some say it was Diddy too. There was a lot of conspiracy. We went over some of them last episode. But you know what? Manny gave a smart answer. This is a Tupac house anyways. I think any other answer would have been a bad one.
Both, man. They're both good in their own way.
I do too.
But if you start researching to see who did who to what, you go into YouTube and there's hours upon hours. Next thing you know, you'll believe that aliens have done it, or like a Yeti or something. You can go deep on the internet to find out who did it.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, you missed a real funny joke, man. When you said you didn't want to resurrect, you should have said he didn't want a Tupac resurrect, like the movie.
I didn't see the movie. Was it good?
Which one? Because they had 2 of them.
The first Tupac Resurrection is fucking dope. The recent one is
it's okay. It was undersold. I think that was overhyped for no reason. I think the Biggie one was far superior. in terms of movies. I think the Biggie one was really, really good. It was filmed great and everything. They had a good cast for that.
What's the best hip hop movie? I think it's 8 Mile or the NWA movie. CB4 is incredible too.
Belly.
Oh yeah.
Belly. I'm gonna give that a hip hop movie.
But Africa's far.
He's quoting T-Boz, I
You ever seen
think.
Breaking?
Oh, yes.
That's
Electric
that's the
Boogaloo.
shit right there. Breaking?
Electric Boogaloo. You ever saw that, Manny? Electric Boogaloo?
No.
Turbo and Ozone.
Wait, is that an 80s cult film about breakdancing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I think I've seen it years ago.
That was great, man. That's when Turbo was breakdancing on the ceiling.
That was another one, but the one from New York. That was Breaking from New York. The one from the West Coast.
Street?
Yeah,
Oh, Beat Street was
Beat
the first
Street.
one, yeah. Yo, and now we can
Beat
get back to
Street
my
was
theory
the shit right
that
there.
hip hop is mad Puerto Rican because look at who's fucking dancing in Beat Street. Don't,
Speedy Legs.
Yes.
Speedy Legs is the man, dude. He really was the
Look,
man.
the motherfucker that invented hip hop probably looks like Tito Puente.
Oh man, but yeah, I just wanted to shout out Biggie. You know, it's a special day. Well, it's not a special. You know, it's a special day for us to remember him. But you know, nonetheless, I wanted to touch bases on it really quick. Also, I know it was a few days ago, but it was 305 Day. Did you guys celebrate 305 Day in here, Mr. Goodnight?
What happened?
Did you celebrate 305 Day?
Nah, well, I had a pastelito or something. Nah, I ain't.
Yeah. How about you, Noodles? Did you celebrate 305 Day?
Nope.
No.
I didn't even know.
You didn't even know March 5th is considered nowadays 305 Day.
Shit, why nobody knew but you?
Yeah, that sounds like a brand new thing.
That's
It is. It's something I think that came out about a year or two ago. But
did?
305 Day, March 5th is now considered 305 Day.
I didn't know that. You the only person that told me.
I just found out last year, and I heard it over again
What
over
did
the
you do
radio.
today then?
What did I do?
On that day?
Well, I just did nothing and just recognized that it was just 305
So
Day.
why
I
would
think I
you
had
bring it
Cuban
up?
coffee.
Oh, okay, see.
Then every day's a 305 day for me.
Yeah, I think for all of us in
Yeah,
here,
that's
you
what
know.
I'm trying to say.
You know what? But speaking of Manny, speaking of Miami and why I wanted to bring that up, I know that you're the founder, and you can correct me here. Are you the founder of MiamiComedy.com, right?
.com, the website, the Kingpin.
The Kingpin. Okay, so you're the head honcho there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Which, by the way, speaking of head honchos, shout out to Wake and Vape Studios with Mr. Dade County and Conspiracy Ken. They're in the building somewhere. You can hear them once you listen to this podcast, but they're somewhere back there. But yeah, so you're the head honcho of MiamiComedy.com. I wanted to ask you, being that it was 305 Day, are you from Miami?
I was born in Long Island, but I've been living here all my life. My parents brought me to Miami when I was very young. And I started doing comedy here. And I quickly realized it wasn't anything like New York or like I thought it would be.
Did you do comedy in New York?
At visiting, I have family there, so I go about once a year, once every 2 years or so. I
Okay.
try doing comedy there. It's totally different. So I kind of got this idea to, or at least a vision, to make comedy shows as popular here in Miami as it was in New York. Because over there, you can just turn the corner, and there's a lounge doing a comedy show, and there's people there hanging out. So it's like embedded in their culture.
Right.
So I started the website to help establish something similar to that.
Right, and I want to talk about that more in depth, but I was just asking where you were from in particular, because you know I see you being a great supporter of Miami out here through your Miami comedy and various other projects you be working on. But do you consider yourself nowadays more a Miami guy or a Long Islander
Yeah,
still?
man, I mean, I love New York. Don't get me wrong, right? Just like the
Right.
tourists say on their shirts, but it's two different cultures, so you get to love a little bit of everything that's different from the two. So Miami, what I love, of course, the comedy scene here, all the people I've grown up with working. New York, I still have family, and it's a lot more culturally mixed over there.
Right.
However, here it's very fertile ground. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it's like considered one of the best cities to do a startup of just about anything here.
Really?
Whether it's a podcast or a website or any sort of tech service or anything. All the startups, or not all of them, but a majority of them is happening right here in our city.
So we're like the Wild West of the.
Exactly. We're so fertile for opportunities in our city.
Yeah. What's going on? They got a lot of activity going on outside on the other side in the back. Don't worry about it.
Yo, you know what I miss about New York though? There's just crazy people yelling at no one on the street. You don't really see that a lot in Miami, and I think Miami needs more of
And
that.
they make great content for social media. Like if you record them, it's free content.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And okay, so you consider yourself more of a Miami guy. So let me ask you, in spirit of Miami, and that it was 305 day, what do you consider is the most Miamiest thing out here? Like, what can you say? Like, if you had to tell somebody, what are you guys known for in terms of doing socially?
Croquetas.
I know for sure. New York got the Empire State Building and it changes colors and shit, right? Miami got a bitch on Molly dancing on the side of the Intercontinental. That's all you need to know.
Exactly.
So you feel like that is a good representation of Miami? It kind of
Yeah,
epitomizes
that's
who
what
we are.
showcase to
So
the
you
world.
say when Miami is doing a lot of drugs and dancing and partying is very Miami.
Yeah, the nightlife in Miami is
Well-
very apparent. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's all right.
Cocaine.
To
is
be
good-
successful in Miami, you got to be a doctor, a drug dealer, or some kind of scammer.
Right.
Or
So
a fine bitch that has a sugar daddy that is one of those three things.
and they all fall right under the drug category fields or related to them. So
We just call them scammers at that point.
right.
Yo, shout outs to all the scammers. I see you out here running those scanners to get through
Tax
those.
season.
Like, yeah, tax season. What, you got 7 kids? They all live in Nicaragua, though?
Exactly.
And they still sending money over there. But yeah, okay, so you consider that, and you know what I think when I think of Miami and Miami's, you know what I would think we're infamous for, or was very Miami. Nah, we just mentioned that.
Bitches.
That's all you got to talk about. Drugs. That's it.
Cuban coffee. I think that, or
Think
just
about
Cuban
every
fuel.
movie
We're
that's
known
come out
for
of Miami. What's the theme for every
Cubans
movie
and
in Miami?
drugs.
Exactly.
Dominoes.
That's what this city unfortunately is branded because it's a very new city. I mean, this is a very
Right.
new city. It's been established recently. When was it? I don't know. I saw Cocaine Cowboys a long time ago, but it says like all that money came in and made this city what it is, right?
Yeah.
It
That happened
did
late
somewhere into the
70s and
late
80s.
70s, right?
So all the Cubans that are here, all the people from that generation or the people that retired here, they're all gonna die out. It's gonna be a brand new generation of people in Miami. That's why it's so fertile around here.
You can see it now. You can see that new
Exactly.
wave of Miami residency coming up now. It's like these, and I know these guys are
Yo,
gonna
so
flip on it.
maybe we should cut Social Security so they could all die out a little faster and we could just get this new Miami going.
Yeah, let's go send that bill in.
No, you know what's gonna happen if you cut the Social Security out on them older ones that are dying out?
Oh,
All they're
actually,
gonna do is start selling drugs, and they're gonna undercut you guys because they're not gonna sell them for as high.
No, I think that's just the casinos will make a little bit less. You know, they all go to the casino.
Yo, they're all
Affect the bingo parlors.
Magic
Yeah.
City Casino is busy fucking Tuesday morning on horse races in other third world countries where the horses look like donkeys and shit. Just still out there betting.
And they're all filled with Hispanics in there trying to make a buck.
Donkey!
You ever seen them when you go into the gas station? They buy like the $25 scratch offs, and they buy like 6 of them. They be
Who's
like,
they?
"Let me get 6." Hispanic people when they go to gas stations.
What type of
This
Hispanic?
would be anybody who his first name, the word papi, is also applicable.
Yeah.
What type of Spanish you speaking of?
All of them, man. There's no particular culture
I mean,
in the
there's
Hispanic
some
world that doesn't do it. They all do it.
South Americans do it less. Colombians are type conservative. Argentinians are a bit too. But yo, Central Americans, or if you're like an old Cuban person, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna win this lottery.
And
ASAP.
Dominicans.
Oh.
And Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. They will waste
Yeah,
some
but
money
Dominicans
on
and
that.
Puerto Ricans kind of cheat on the lottery. I'm not gonna make it hot for my uncles out here, but I know.
Give it up. Give it up.
You got the dirt on him.
Yo, I think the person that's gonna invent the time machine is just gonna be a Puerto Rican motherfucker that got the numbers for the next week and wants to find a way to go back.
Don't let any Miami person get a hold of that. We will fuck up the ecosystem doing that shit. We will manipulate time and get richer and richer. Nobody will have money, only us and shit.
Yo, man, if you could time travel, what you doing?
If I can time travel, damn, that's a good question. You came out of nowhere.
We're out of nowhere type of show.
I think in Back to the Future when they got like the playbook with all the winnings in it.
Yeah, the almanac,
Yeah.
the sports
I'll
almanac.
get a sports almanac for sure. I'd pull a stunt like that.
See, because he's got that Miami side of him. You could see that.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
definitely not a
fucking
Long
dude.
Islander. You are
I-
definitely more a Miami guy. You
makes
were already
sense.
thinking how to make money.
Dude, I'm getting that sports almanac, going back in time and being LeBron James's father.
If you knew, if you knew what you knew now, and you can go back like let's say 10 years and apply what you know now, do you think you could be a millionaire?
I would be 13 years old again, so fucking it'd be
Wow.
very dangerous.
I gotta admit, I would say maybe if I wasn't lazy, like I'd probably know all the information, but I still wouldn't want to get up because I already know that there's good weed out there and what's the good weed,
There's
the bad versus
there's
the
so
bad
many.
weed.
My point is there's so many opportunities. You don't necessarily need an almanac. That was just like to show you the power of just going back in time.
Yeah.
For example, if you knew Bitcoin was gonna pop off, you're just waiting for them to announce. All right, Bitcoin is now available for 25 cents a Bitcoin. You buy $10,000.
No, you know what I would
Yeah,
do?
Bitcoin,
Wait for that to
Amazon,
spike.
Netflix,
Yeah.
all that.
You know what? In
invest
all
in
honesty,
Google.
I would invest in Google. Exactly. You're right. Or Apple. I would have been like, you know what? I would have gotten a phone call from Bill Gates sitting in his living room, still broke as shit. Be like, why did you send me $1,000 this way? He says, you'll see.
Here's what I would do. I'd get a job in Google, and I'd start telling them all their ideas that I know. It's like,
Yeah,
you could do
you'd
this.
be like
bro.
a
Yeah,
genius.
and they just steal them from you first.
I just disappear.
Yo, imagine time would have like really manipulated. He would have done that. Would have been like, here we are on the Garavito phone, using it. This
my-
man invented everything.
You know what would be
my
fucked
face
up?
on the back of every phone.
I'll fuck around, go back in time, and just try to fuck Pam Grier, and then she doesn't give me no pussy.
That's just horrible. That's a complete waste of time. You've been on some whispering shit lately. What's going on over here? You've been whispering this whole episode.
You remember about the
Are you-
wrong? You remember about the wrong shit, big dog.
Yo,
Okay.
Theo's out here on his Carlton Bank swag.
I thought he was doing. He's being very
Cardigan all
covert.
folded and shit.
Yeah, he's being very CIA right now. Like he's in the back, like showing hand signals. He disappeared for like 2 minutes, came back out of nowhere. Like
I guess I'm that black guy they know. That's why they played that Trick Daddy. They
Yeah.
don't know shit about Trick
Yeah,
Daddy. They just
yeah,
played it
yeah.
For me.
Nah, Trick Daddy yelled at me at Champ Sports in Dolphin Mall one time.
he did.
Yeah.
I believe it. It's
Yeah,
Mateo.
I was working behind the register, and there was about 12 customers in line, and he was mad because he's like, I'm supposed to skip them all. Do you know who I am? I'm the mayor of this
Wait a
bitch."
minute. Wait. So he
That
wanted
happened
you
for
to
real?
let him cut the line?
I mean, I actually did let him cut the line because I respect Trick Daddy, and I cried listening to fucking Thug Paradise when I was in 3rd grade. So, or Thug Holiday, my bad.
So that was a role model.
I mean, not really a role model, but yo, Trick Daddy and DMX, and maybe even Eminem got me through some shit when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, they all.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
fuck with
mean,
them, though.
there's some crazy.
DMX helped you get through shit.
Yo,
How?
He let him know where his dogs
cried
were at
listening
all
to
times.
DMX pray, like just his prayers before the songs.
Like whenever you need courage, you just hear him barking in the back of your head.
Hell yeah.
He always helped them remind him where his dogs were at.
Look.
He'd walk outside. Oh, where are my
You
dogs?
know how people have the angel and demon on their shoulder?
Mhm.
Mine are just two different versions of DMX.
None good then. You were making some definitely poor choices
Yo,
with those
if
two.
DMX started a church, I'd be there fucking every week.
Sweet mother of God, Joe. You imagine he says, and DMX says, shall take it away if I want it.
You smoke the body. You smoke the body of the Christ in the crack pipe.
Who you just tried like? You just.
I
sound
think I
like,
threw a little Mike Tyson in
No,
there,
you
didn't
little
I?
my ass. That's who you threw in
That
there
was
because that didn't sound
definitely-
like.
I think I
DMX.
was stuck on Mike Tyson mode from the last time. That was a
That
tough
wasn't even
conversation.
Mike Tyson at that point. It's somebody else.
Our last
You know,
episode, I came up with some crazy ass questions to ask these guys. The one I had asked them for like $1 trillion was, would you rather get kicked in the balls by, help me out, what's her name again?
Oh, I don't know.
Ronda Rousey, or would you get punched in the face by Mike Tyson for $1 trillion?
It's a win-win either way. I do both just to make sure that I make that money.
For $1 trillion?
For $1 trillion.
Yo, you could fuck my teeth up worse than Mike Tyson's teeth. I don't care. I'd rather not get hit in the dome because I'm not trying to lose more brain cells than I've already lost. But I get a whole new grill. For
real. Yeah. And it would have his backstory. It's like, well, what happened to your teeth? Oh, that's how I got this grill. Mike Tyson knocked them all out.
Totally different
Big
response.
shout
from
out
last
to
week.
Mike Tyson for helping me get this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
seriously.
he probably put me on his podcast. Mike Tyson's podcast is cool. Like, you shouldn't listen to any podcast besides this one, but that one's pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, you're trying to take our 5 listeners away, Mateo.
I've seen video.
I said
I've
7.
seen video of Mike Tyson practicing. Tell me you would hate to get the amount of force behind every
I was
punch.
talking about that.
You can see gravity bend every time he hits
Yes.
like the mitt.
You
Yo,
can actually see wing cut.
he
Yeah.
might be the last airbender, but just no one really knew.
For real, man.
How old is he now? He's somewhere in his late 40s,
Still
right?
fuck
Or
people
50s.
Yo, that face tattoo was like the arrow, but they were like, yo, you such a badass, we got to do it a little different.
Oh man, but yeah, no, we were asking some crazy questions last week. It really was. So yeah, you know what? I know we talked a minute there about the good parts of what makes Miami, I guess, or what we would think identifies Miami. But what do you think is the worst thing about this city?
The branding, the same thing that makes it good is what makes it bad. The drivers too, yeah.
Yes.
The traffic is awful. I don't know, man. Like, who do you think represents Miami nowadays?
Well, for
That's a
me,
good example.
to me, I always think Cuban culture. Oh, we're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
that's-
representing
that's
like in
because you're a
person, like
Cuban.
face person.
If you really
like,
think about the branding from this city, who comes to mind? Like, what are the major players? that comes to
Pitbull.
mind? Exactly.
Pitbull, yeah,
Rick Ross,
Rick Ross, Pitbull,
DJ Khaled,
DJ
DJ Khaled.
Khaled, DJ Laz.
I mean,
Dwayne Wade. Being
Dwayne
that he's
Wade.
here already, but even when he was gone, it was still Dwayne Wade.
Now, when you think about a major city like L.A. or New York, who comes to mind?
There's a lot of them.
Exactly.
yeah.
Right there, what you said.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the thing that I think is what makes Miami a bit limited in what it really is. The branding, when people think about our city, it's a handful of things. It's not a broad definition.
They just think of us as a party town at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, but because that's what they come here to do, yo. Tourists come to Miami. Yo, I mean, you can hang out at Miami Beach, knock down Canadians fucking all winter, but they come to Miami not even see the real Miami. They're just out there at the beach. They might go to Wood Tavern. That's the most Miami they see.
But you know what? I guess
like
that.
that place.
I guess I could
We all
see
do.
that point.
We all do.
I could see that. You know, I could understand why that makes Miami not a good place. Everyone, but you know, I guess the same could be said like in a place like Hawaii. You know, you don't go to Hawaii to think, hey, I want to live here and just have a regular functioning life, or just explore everything that they got from entertainment to
Yo,
the
but
nature
the thing
side.
is, you can't have no functioning life in Miami. You have a dysfunctioning life,
Yeah.
and you got to be about that dysfunctional life.
When
No,
you first came to Miami, did
No,
you feel the
don't.
difference?
you're already fucking up the brand already just by making that claim.
Oh yeah, no.
The
well,
housing sucks as well. That's another thing. To get a good place here in Miami is rough.
Oh yeah, the property values have gone up.
Property value-
Taxes
the
have gone
flooding
up.
is getting hectic. I mean, we're gonna be underwater in 50 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see, so we're about to drown. In order to survive, you gotta have 2 jobs plus sell dope.
Yep. But you know,
Sound about right.
what's funny is that we're.
But you make friends that way.
But the interesting thing is that I think is that a lot of people are aware of that. A lot of people, and yet no one's willing to leave.
Yeah, because the weather is a big factor. I just came back from southwestern America.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
I was going through hell wearing jackets and vests and gloves and scarves. As soon as I landed in Miami and I wasn't wearing any of that, I can see why people want to come here. The weather is very convenient, extremely convenient in comparison to what these guys are going
Yo,
through.
the sky is fucking pink here, bro.
Yeah, if you get it just right.
Yeah,
When
I
the
think in the
sun
mornings
sets-
is where you get it. Even sometime in the sunsets.
Yeah,
You're right.
When the sun sets and all that pollution is nice and thick in the air, it gets orangey and pink.
See
and
that nice hue.
all the trees have that silhouette thing going. It's beautiful.
It's
Looks like
beautiful to know what I'm
it
breathing.
Looks like we about to get in a pod racer. We got shit here they don't have in the rest of the world, man.
I understand that. I do. I think that, and again, you mentioned that earlier. You know, the demographics are changing a little bit in terms of the younger people that are kind of getting older now here in Miami. Their mindsets are completely different. They're not as they don't seem as Hispanic-y. Some of them grew up in Spanish families, but they don't even speak Spanish.
Yeah, but those are Cubans, yo. Cubans don't count. Cubans at this point are Miami's white people. But you gotta look at all the other kids, and they're Hispanic as fuck, yo.
This guy's
Yeah.
claims.
But it's true. Miami and Cubans here in Miami are the version of the white people. They
Unless
really
you're
are.
a new Cuban. They look at new Cubans the same way they look at Puerto Ricans somehow.
All right, elaborate, guys. Why are Cubans here in Miami like the white people of Florida?
Well, number one,
What are the similarities?
All right, they're the whitest people we have besides Jews that just hang out with each other.
yeah.
So they're like all the whitest motherfuckers I know, like people I thought were white, actually Cubans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been surprised too by some Cuban
country
looking
artists
folks.
tour Miami, and then you see the video, and there's just mad Cuban flags out there.
Yeah.
Cuban people want to be white. They're Republicans.
You go over there by Westchester, Cutler Bay, Sweetwater, and they're all driving like Ford F-150s or 350s or 450s or 550s, and they come out of ranches and they're riding horses with like shirts on, but yet they're sipping on Cuban coffee.
Oh, also they're top 4 or 5 most racist Hispanic nationalities are old Cubans. New Cubans are racist, but the fucking Miami old Cubans racist as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came from there. I mean, that's what, from what I understand from folklore, that Fidel Castro let, the racist, the poor,
he
the
united
sick,
the races. It was
he let all
fucking-
the worst of the worst out of Cuba come into Miami, and Miami is what it is based on those people. At least the foundations for the time. I think it's changing. I think that a lot of, even those that are raised by the ones that their parents came and they had their kids have grown and now they're having kids. To me, they're different. To me, the style is changing.
Yeah, new generations are coming.
Exactly.
Defining the entire city.
Exactly. But yes, I just wanted to cover that, man. It was 305 Day, and we're all from here. At least I'm from here, and I wanted to show love to my city. Shout out to you guys, Miami.
Man, fuck this city. I'm from here too.
Yeah? Yeah, you are.
Fuck them all.
Yeah. So, hey, did you guys, I'm not even going to get into that. You know what, man? Let's talk about you, man. Let's talk about this Miami comedy we were talking about a few minutes ago. Talk to me about that. Go into depth
So
here.
again, it was an idea. I started Brick Wall Sessions in 2012. You guys remember Tobacco Road?
Yeah, I actually did my
It was
first
an
show
old-
ever there.
It was an old dive bar by the Brickell area. My first show, I used to do this thing called Brick Wall Sessions, where it would be like a podcast, but we would do stand-up comedy. Then we'd sit down and talk about.
How long ago was this?
2012.
2012.
And we would just sit around, talk amongst ourselves. And I promoted my first show. And what I did was I printed out these flyers, and it didn't make any sense because, first of all, Brick Wall Sessions was an awful name. And I would post Brick Wall Sessions comedy show, and then like a picture of an Asian girl laughing, and then a photo of Tobacco Road on the inside. It just didn't make sense at all. And I'm handing these out to people at FIU, thinking that they're going to come out to the show. Oh, my first show is going to be a hit. The waiter that told me I can do the show put us up in the attic because I had a second
was
floor.
up
Yeah,
Yes.
I did a show there.
And nobody was there except one old man. And he sat front row, and I'm like, I gave out flyers for days, and this is the only person that arrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
And me and the comedians at the time, which John Gregory, you guys know, was one of them.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. And we're doing this thing. We're trying to bring this old guy into the conversation. And it was this awful show that was like bigoted and some old guy, and then me trying to balance the whole thing. It lasted about 6 shows. And then the manager came upstairs and saw us, and he's like, you guys saw Fight Club when the guy comes like, this is Lou's place. Yeah, so what? I'm fucking Lou. You
The
guys
owner.
remember that scene from Fight Club?
Oh, yes.
Okay, it would happen the exact same way. This manager came up and was like, who told you guys can do a show here? And I'm like, the waiter downstairs, I talked to him. He said that we can do a show here. I'm the manager. I'm the one that says who can come up here. And then that was the end of that. After that, we then got to the Sushi Lounge. And in the Sushi Lounge, we would do an open mic show. It was still called like the Brick Wall Sessions, the Rough Set. And I would get these plush tomatoes. And while the comedians are up doing material, you can only do new material. And after your set, somebody chooses a topic from a hat. And then you try to riff on that topic for 2 minutes. And if you're bombing, the audience throws these plush tomatoes at you.
Okay, thank God they were plush. I can't do that. I can't get like a
love that
real
show.
tomato thrown at me.
All these
you done that
ideas
Yeah,
That'll
but
be-
in church.
amounted to what is Miami comedy now. So it was a lot of trial and error of me trying to do something original, trying to get like the scene included. But then eventually it just came down to running an effective website, sending an email that's like useful for people, because a lot of people here want to see comedy. The thing is, I don't really think it's communicated effectively for people to be motivated to be like, I'm going to get in my car with my wife and I'm going to get a babysitter for my kids and I'm going to go watch this show. So if you start communicating to people in a way, it's like, come check this out, I'll make it worth your while. And people, they don't care if you're a big time headliner or if you're a local comedian, as long as they feel compelled, I'd say, or comfortable in seeing a show, they'll go see it. So that's what the website effectively is doing now in comparison to what I did then. What I did then was like, oh yeah, we're all in on this. Comedians unite. Let's do this. Let's try to make a scene for ourselves.
Right.
But then now you have to balance both the comedians and the audience themselves, and then something great comes out of that.
Well, yeah, I was gonna get at that. But first off, with the crowd now, since you've started MiamiComedy.com, have you seen the results of people coming in and
Oh yeah.
based off what you've been providing
About
on
a
those
year
websites?
ago. About a year and a half ago, when I started seeing the stats on the website go up, or I would send an email and it was being circulated on Twitter, that's when I knew is okay. Finally, now I'm starting to reach people. People are seeing the content, and they find the content to be valuable. Like, so, this is cool. There's 3 shows happening this week. We don't read this anywhere else. This is only
Right.
from this website. And before I did Miami Comedy, I was a banker for a decade.
Oh shit,
And-
you were a banker?
Yeah, man, I had a legit job.
But you were the teller, or you were like one of those
I
guys that sat
started
in
as
there
a
and said,
teller
I
when
ain't
I
got
was
good
18,
credit?
and then at 22, I became the teller manager, and then at 23 on is when I became a salesman. And,
Damn, man, you were by the money, man. How'd you
Oh,
end
yeah.
up telling these jokes from money? I would have been around money. I think I feel good every
It's
day
a
waking
big
up to money I
transition.
can't have.
It's
Yeah.
a big transition, But yeah, I would do stand-up comedy at night. I didn't like it, though. I didn't like banking. It's too corporate, too
I don't think
stuffy.
so.
Yes.
Yeah, nah, we're getting you gotta wear that weak ass uniform that everybody knows it's a uniform, but you still gotta be dressed up.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
not
out
fun,
of here.
man.
You look like a banker. You know what? If I had to predict like a job, you look like someone that works like in a banker. Like you could wear the suit and tie and shit and give like a presentation meeting about stocks or something.
And make it funny. I've done that.
Yeah?
I've done many meetings, yeah, and I would make it interesting for the employees that were.
Is that what got you motivated to comedy? What brought you to do
What got me
comedy?
motivated to comedy really was people making sense on stage. Like I liked Bill Hicks when I was like 22, 23.
Okay.
Of course, I liked Eddie Murphy and the comedians that were successful in terms of being hilarious. But the Bill Hicks was the kind of guy that would say things, and he's not necessarily that funny. But the fact to have balls and kind of like tune people into your form of thinking and it makes sense, that's what compelled me. But it also stalled me from being a good comedian for about 4 years. So when I started, I was 23, and I think I started like feeling what it is to kill at 27 or 28. It was a long time for me because I'd be one of the comedians that would go up and be like, I'm so fucking woke. Check out this joke about the stock market. And I'd say like jokes that like the audience can't, they don't get you.
Right.
So I kind of became smart about 4 years into comedy.
So it took you a little bit there to get
took
that
me a
going,
while.
and
Between that, did you ever think you had it figured out, and then
When you're egotistical to do stand-up comedy, you think you have it figured out from day one. So my story when I first went up, I had my ex-girlfriend at the time. She I guess she made me feel like that's it. It's always the one I'm gonna marry. I thought I was in that position, that naive thinking. And I signed up for an open mic at the Miami Improv when it was at Coconut Grove.
Oh, okay.
And she told her friends, and I told my family, and we have to get 10 people to perform there to get your 5 minutes. Little did I didn't know that you can go up at a bar or at a regular open mic and have nobody, in the audience, and you just do your 5 minutes. I thought the only way you can do comedy is at a comedy club, period. The people at the Improv sit, all 10 of them, in the front row.
really,
All 10 of them, right? So I'm in the back, and me being cocky because I figured I found the girl of my life. I was like, you get cocky, like, all right, I'm getting sex. I'm a big boss. I'm a boss hog.
Right.
These people aren't funny. I'm looking.
you
at
good.
the
You
people.
got the pussy on lock.
Yeah,
You was like, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
But the thing is, it affects you because you get blind and you don't see outside yourself when you're in that position. So I would look at the people on the screen and I'd be so cocky. Never gone up, and I'm like, these guys suck. That joke sucks. This guy's dressed off. When I'm judging people and I don't have the ability to kind of like, are you ready, man? Are you ready to do this? I'm just busy trashing people.
You
in my
hype,
head.
you shitting on them, hyping your own stuff up in your
So,
world.
I'm drinking. I have like 3 Blue Moons and 2 Crown Royales, and I wasn't feeling buzzed.
Right.
And then the improv has this thing that when you open the door, you're immediately in the stage. So it's like the stage is right here, and then you open, and bam, the spotlight's on you.
Yeah.
So when it was my turn to go up, I opened the door, and this spotlight just hits me right in the face. That like it disorients me, and I blacked out. Like that's when the alcohol all came in.
You passed out, like you fell on the floor, passed out.
I blacked out in terms of like I.
Oh, you just like you had a massive brain fart and stayed on fart mode.
No, I did my bits because I practiced it, but it was like I remember it in frames. Like I remember seeing my dad nodding his head, looking up at me like, "Ah, look at my son doing jokes."
Did you quit banking at this point?
No, I was in the prime of banking. Like I was becoming the manager at the time.
Okay, they probably suggested for you to keep your day job at that point. I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, they were trash. My friend was trashing me the next day. But the reason why they knew I was blacked out is, and it wasn't just the front row, it was the entire auditorium because I grabbed the microphone, pulled it out of the mic stand, and it hit my mouth, and that sound echoed throughout the entire auditorium. That you can just feel everybody cringing at the exact same moment, like this guy's about to fuck up. And surely enough, I did for 7. You have 5 minutes to perform,
right?
But they made me go up to 7 minutes because I'm pretty sure the guy that was giving the lights like, no, let him ride for another minute.
They wanted you to sweat.
Look at this guy.
They liked it.
Yeah, it was a bombing so bad that it was entertaining. Like everybody was like, "Are you seeing how bad this guy is?"
Because
right
it was
now?
awkward.
It was not only awkward. It was there was no flexibility. There was no gear shifting. It was just a guy reciting something. Clearly drunk, and look at my face. Imagine this face drunk. It's gonna be like 2 slits, and I'm like, and what about this thing? And like I'm like trying.
You were
to use my
hybriding jokes
hands.
and shit.
Man, it was an awful experience.
That was a train wreck.
But it was.
Boom.
Yeah.
I think that's everybody's experience. I don't think nobody did a great job when they first
Yeah.
got on
They
stage.
played "Hit the Road Jack." The DJ was like, "Hit the road, Jack," and that was the song that they pulled me out.
Oh damn!
Freddie Stebbins was hosting the show. You guys know Freddie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Freddie.
man.
Freddie-
Shout out to Freddie.
Freddie came out, and I guess he was like mid-dress because like he had like one eyelash on and like the wig was off to the side,
Right.
and he was like, he came out in a rush like, "What the fuck was that? Get out of here!"
Oh man, you know what? Mentioning Freddie, man, sometimes when I see you out there, and I've been aware of your Miami comedy, and I've gone to several of your venues, man, but I see you working hard trying to spread like different comedy rooms out, grow them, and every time I seen you do some real good draws in there with the crowds, but how many rooms are you working with right now? Like what do you got going on and all? Is it just the Miami comedy website you work on?
It's 2 questions. So the first one is I got other things. I do freelance digital marketing, so I get hired every once in a while by a few people that need some marketing done, whether it be a website or social media management or just creative ideas.
Do you work with Tinder profiles?
Yes. In
Okay.
terms of me marketing myself on there, yes.
I want to get some numbers up. I'm thinking about doing that.
Well, you want Tinder analytics, John? Is that what you need? You
Yeah,
feel
like,
you're gonna be more
I feel
That
like
would be
I
a
need to
great
increase my-
option.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Mateo. Like Tinder analytics. Like how many swipes?
How am I getting rejected?
Yeah, how many left swipes are you getting? in
I want to
comparison
know
right
who's
swipes?
rejecting me.
I just don't want you to get kicked
Everyone.
off of the where I did.
Yo,
on Plenty of Fish.
John got kicked off Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
I did.
Why? Why?
He got flagged too many times.
Why?
Y-
What'd
yes.
you do?
Thank you. You know what's funny? I think I might have gotten kicked out of that account. Like I saw like a message coming. I went to go log in and like it wouldn't let me, and I was just like, forget it.
You can't go back.
No, I think that's it. I'm
Hey,
banned.
answer the question, asshole. You asked you why you got kicked up, man.
Oh, why did I get kicked off? You're right. Sometimes I used messages that weren't appropriate, I guess, just to put it in content.
That's awful. So like you established what is the Me Too movement. Like you're a part of that.
It's like
Yeah, look, John's so creepy. John probably got kicked off Adult Friend Finder.
Like I bet all of his photos is him with the sunglasses on, and he's just talking about. Like,
yeah, no, that's how I live. Like you don't understand. It took you a while to make mention of the shades, but yes, this happens everywhere I go. I wear shades at night, daytime, inside my house. Like family haven't seen my eyes in years, man.
I think that's why they kicked you off.
Nah, that's cool. I'll keep my shades on like while I'm getting a blowjob. Just 'cause, like, bitch, I want to see you with a filter.
Oh man. But okay, so you do digital marketing.
Yes. And the other question was how many rooms?
Yeah, well, yeah. I
So
mean, because I know you got Miami Comedy, but are you just about a website, or is Miami Comedy,
So I coined this term called the virtual comedy club, and a lot of people are starting to pick up on it because the business model is pretty effective, especially for the level that I'm in. So it's not that expensive to run. You just need to be real. You just have to know what you're doing in terms of again, balancing the creatives, which is the comedians, and balancing the customers, which is the audience. So the virtual comedy club model is a good website that just communicates to both and makes it beneficial for both. And once you start building an audience that kind of like is in the same vibe that your website is in, you can then start giving your services to other places, for example, venues that don't have much business going on during the midweek. So that's what I'm doing now with the website. I've done over 36 rooms here in Miami, but the most successful one that's been ongoing, that the venue is perfect, the audience they always attend, and the managers and the owners are very understanding, is the Red Bar.
The Red Bar.
Shout out to the Red Bar.
Yeah, man.
That's the Red Bar.
Which I like to get into that really quick here. So I overheard here in conversation about a certain person getting eliminated from your Red Bar
For certain reasons.
for certain reasons.
Let's not
what
put it
are
out
those? Can we put the reasons out there?
Yeah,
no, we
I
just said no.
Nah, I don't do it. Nah.
You're okay with that?
Stop back. No.
Let's just say it's happened more than once, and Mateo is like, just look at his eyes and you already know what the answer is. So
Okay.
Mateo is getting sleepy-eyed in front of the Red Bar.
Right.
And it's been like a few times, not only by me but by the owner. But this time, when he was getting sleepy-eyed, I think there were like investors of the property there or some.
So
other
he's
managers.
permanently banned. He can't even walk in there to
No,
buy
man,
get a cup of water.
I spoke to the owner and I made sure that I try to bring him back. The owner, of course, is always the final person to say.
Right.
He's the one we have to make happy. And he just got tired of their shit. And I kind of agree with him, but
we get tired of his shit in here too,
yeah,
but we
so I'm
keep
saying,
allowing him in the
this
room.
guy,
He's doing great.
yeah.
Not
but,
really.
But
we
I
like
mean,
you, Mateo.
it's something that you kind of like have to wait until he calms down. I mean, wait for things to die down a little bit before. So we made it a suspension
Getting banned.
instead of
yo.
banning.
It has a ban, bro.
Thanks for
Nah, I'm suspended now. You see, I'm like, what's his name? The fighter that did coke,
Oh, what's God, dog it, I can't.
John Jones.
Is that it?
Rocky Marciano.
Nah.
No, man, not Rocky Marciano. Man,
But
cocaine wasn't
that's
that
what
good.
happens. They want to stop me from using my roids,
Yeah. Okay,
so I
so
gotta
no.
take some time off.
Let him
Yeah.
know, let him know.
Yeah, I just
Performance
I just-
enhancers.
Yeah, that's my performance enhancer.
The only
right
issue
there.
I got with this is that you ain't had to pull this business out there, man.
Well, no, I did discuss this
Spec
beforehand.
that gadget.
I
Hey,
did
listen, I
discuss
don't
this
need you
beforehand.
doing that shit on this
That's
show,
what
man.
Look,
Fucking God, this guy FBI or something, man. Allegedly, we got a guy here. He got kicked out of there. Shout out to Red Bar, though. You know what I
Hey,
mean? Like, get
look.
the fuck out of here. This guy.
John's a fat man. Look at him. He looks like he can't wear a turtleneck because if he wore a turtleneck, he look like an
I
uncircumcised
got told I was a
pig.
cop before we started the show.
You look like a cop. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
That's why you wear the shades.
I get
man.
roles like that. If they had to typecast me, I would be a cop in every damn like movie, TV show, commercial.
Nah,
Like,
you look like the first guy that gets killed in a horror movie.
you think so?
Yeah,
I don't look like
'cause-
the
'cause
killer.
Now they're not trying to kill black people first because that's racist, so they kill black people second. So you'll be the first one out.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
They let them get 45 minutes into the film now, not like it used to be in the first 25.
I'd say they get to the second act.
No, I think you know what I learned is I think if they got too much going on in the beginning, like if they talking too much, they gotta die quick. The ones that don't get too much talking, they live.
Let's keep it in perspective.
Yeah.
By the way, there is one horror movie that was completely backwards. If you guys ever remember Candyman,
I seen black people die in Candyman.
but he didn't kill them first. He always went for the white people.
Yeah, you see where he was living
mean,
at?
they're
Did you
worth
see where
it.
he was living? Shit, I killed white people too
Yeah,
while I was living at too.
I just remembered the project building. You know what?
Oh, my bad. We got a white guy in, so I'm
You
sorry.
know what? Speaking of movies, you like movies, Manny?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been watching them recently. The
No?
last one I saw was Black Panther.
Oh, did you like Black Panther?
Yeah, I liked it. But all Marvel movies are the same. Like it's the same
Plot.
Yeah, it's the same equation. It's the same like, all right, this is the story. This is the bad guy. We switch it up with this other bad guy. There's a little turmoil here, and you can kind of see the formula.
Oh, yo, I got some beef with Black Panther. All right, you are not from Wakanda. Get the fuck out of here. You live in Homestead. Stop saying you from Wakanda. If you from Wakanda,
it sounds like a
I'm
direct
from El
attack.
Dorado.
It sounds like a direct attack to Mr. Goodnight over here. Like,
Yeah,
did
did he say? Who said they're from Wakanda? I know. I
Oh, a
did
lot of everybody's out here saying they're from Wakanda. Every person that's darker than Drake thinks they're from Wakanda after Black Panther came out.
Yeah, it makes sense though.
You know what? I wondered. I was thinking about it the other day. I said, "Am I more a Wakanda guy or a Zamunda guy?" You know what movie that's from?
Yeah, the Eddie Murphy movie, Welcome to America. Yeah,
Oh,
of
It's
course.
Coming to America.
Coming to
Coming to America.
Yeah, he was from Zamunda.
That was an awesome movie.
Yeah.
See?
That was a good movie.
Would you rather be in Zamunda where you're under the rule of Eddie Murphy, or would you like to go to Wakanda and be ruled by
Nah.
T'Challa?
What? I'd rather be ruled by T'Challa. That vibranium shit looks gangsta. I'll fuck
It
around.
does, but it
Just
sounds like
cool
it's gonna
shit
bring
vibranium.
problems. I go hang out in
Yeah.
Zamunda. I got Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall and James Earl Jones.
Yeah, but look at how nice it is. You know Zamunda's a poor country. Like, fucking people are out there all fucked up, but Eddie Murphy's out there
They're
getting
on
the royal
zebras.
pleaters
Everything's
clean.
natural and shit.
Motherfucker jumping around like a.
You do get a little more technology in Wakanda then.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
You get like
but
the spaceships and all that cool stuff. And
right. I mean, I guess that's cool, but like I thought like Zamunda would be great. Like everything's natural. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Just eat berries and ride zebras and shit.
yeah, but that technology will probably get you killed. You know, you get a
Yo,
little experimental. with it.
After you saw Coming to America, did you ever think that he'd make Daddy Daycare?
No. Not that. Not like the Nutty Professor, Dr. Doolittle.
I like the Nutty Professor because the family, the dinner table.
Uh-huh.
That's when I first started as a kid. First started seeing Eddie Murphy doing characters to a T.
Oh,
Like
sorry,
when,
Manny.
When he played the grandma. Come on, Cletus.
Oh yeah. Was that the one that she was clapping Hercules?
Yeah, that's the mother.
That was the mother that did it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he did. I mean, he did good playing the different faces, but
Oh, yo, slept on Eddie Murphy movie is fucking
Beverly Hills Cop.
Boomerang.
Boomerang.
Boomerang
yeah,
is
with
fucking
Dan Aykroyd.
hilarious with fucking David Allen Greer and Chris Rock and Halle Berry.
I don't know, man.
Named
I think
all
that
the
was the
black
one that
dudes.
kind of.
Didn't name the white guy. Dan Aykroyd was like,
He's in it?
yeah, he was.
He was.
I didn't even know there was any white people in
Oh wait,
it.
no, I'm
Boomerang?
thinking Trading Places.
No.
You're right.
Yeah.
Trading Places is a slept-on Eddie Murphy movie.
Yeah. No. Yes, you're right. Trading Places is really good. That's probably like my second
That's
favorite.
you guys thought that an early Jamie Lee Curtis was hot. You know who Jamie
She
Lee Curtis
did.
is?
I like that shirt when she took her
yeah,
shirt off.
she has a nude scene in that movie, and her
Yeah.
body is incredible in that film.
For sure. I like Harlem Nights too.
Oh, Harlem Nights is great, but then like he made that, and then he also made Vampires in Brooklyn. So I think his film career just kind of balances
I
out.
haven't seen that one.
You
Vampire
never
in
saw
Brooklyn?
Vampire
You
in
gotta see
Brooklyn?
it. You gotta see
I
it.
missed that one.
It's crazy.
That one's pretty good. By the way, I feel a little like shitty now because Walter's here.
Yeah, he just came in, fucked the whole.
That's
vibe
Walter
up with
there,
his fucking
Manny.
face.
Shout out to Walter, man. He
If
was
you
doing
feel a little
taxes.
sour with your aura in here, it's because
Yo,
Walter's in the
he
room.
got his tie crooked like he sings K-pop.
Oh man! But so did you watch the Academy Awards?
No.
No,
Did you?
I did.
You saw The Shape of Water, John?
I do not want to see that. That's horrible.
Yo, she fucks the shit out that fish.
Damn.
That girl was ugly in the movie, and I guess that's the only part that gave it a little bit of realism. I said only an ugly girl would probably want to sleep with a fish.
You know, I have a bit about romance, and that just adds to the list of bits that I can come up with that because that romance fantasy. Yeah, does she really have? Is there a sex scene?
Yeah, she fucks the shit out that fish.
Is it a blatant sex scene or is it just implied?
It's very soft core, kind of like some HBO porno type shit. But yeah, she fucks.
So
the shit
does
out
she
that
have to like come up for air every once in a while? How did the scene work? Explain in detail.
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up online.
By all means, you know what? I got a question. What if you were in a relationship and your girl leaves you for a manfish?
A manfish?
Yeah.
Man, that's rough. How are you gonna tell your friends? You know? Or either that, or it sounds like she's just making it up because she's dating your friend. She's like, "Oh, it's a manfish."
But would you be upset, or would you be like, how would you feel at the moment? I guess.
If she left me for a manfish,
For a
I'd be
manfish.
astounded and I'd figure out who he is and try to like sell him to Ripley's Believe It or Not or something.
You wouldn't try to get her back with like a man fish
Kidnap him.
or like a woman
This
fish?
motherfucker got scales. You know how fucked up it is.
Oh, you know what? Let's
He
do a
could fuck
weird
you up.
video of the week using this. Show this here. Can you flip it around?
I mean, it's not the whole scene. It's actually a conspiracy scene about how risky it was to film a sex scene of a lady fucking a fish underwater.
We're gonna work with that right now. Like, can I see this here? Manny, we do something called here Video of the Week, and we
So
like
you
to pick
see
very
that?
random things,
There's
and we like to critique it as we watch it. So
They're
feel
out here.
free.
It's perfectly lit under the water somehow, because that's how magical it is when there's underwater bestiality.
It's a modern day Beauty and the Beast, but unlike the classic fairy tale, the beast transforms into a handsome prince. Instead, he remains fishy.
Yo, no lie though, I probably should dress up as that fish. I could probably fuck the shit out of some artsy hoes.
Even in the sex scene, after rescuing the creator, blank there, because I don't know what the hell that says. What is that? The whatever lab. Elisa takes him home to her apartment. She lived in an apartment, so this is like a broke, ugly girl. I get it. Well,
She probably got snacks though.
they switched it.
You know what's fucked up?
This looks like the entire synopsis.
Yeah, like they're giving us a story there.
The
But
whole thing.
okay, so we did. I think those two lines that I read there kind of broke down the entire movie itself. It's unlike Beauty and the Fish. The guy
Hey
stays
man,
fishy.
the ladies are getting tired of us guys, being human and our shortcomings. So now they're looking at fishes, man. I mean, that's the next step. That's evolution for them.
Yo, it'll be fucked up, because I think the first underwater creature that'll really fuck a human is probably the dolphin. And fucking dolphin
And they
humans
rape,
are gonna be
man.
fucking assholes.
Don't they try to hunt people already?
They're rapists, man.
Yeah, like they try to like rape you in the water. Like, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of groups out there trying to prevent the deaths of dolphins by boats and harpoons and all that. But I'm like, we kind of got to get rid of these creatures.
They're
man.
rapists. They're the rapists of the sea.
They get high on jellyfish, like they chew them up, or puffer fish. They chew them up, they die, and they're just high underwater raping people.
That is crazy.
And, yeah, they're assholes.
Does
just
anyone
because
here been raped by a dolphin or a fish? Or know of any?
They have a smirk on their face, like each and every single one of them has been a rapist at one.
You know who I think might have been raped by a dolphin? Walter.
You know what? Sometimes today I was like, hey, nah, you can't do that today. Don't, skip topics and shit.
This
But
is a
this-
video of you get. Oh my God, that guy is raping that guy.
There you go.
That see?
the shit out that guy.
Look, he likes it. He keeps his legs in the air, and
yeah.
he's just like he's flashing his hands and shit.
See, this is the type of shit. This is why I don't like come here, man. The conversations we have me mad. Why the fuck is we interested in the dolphin fucking another
This is
human?
real life, man. This is what's happening.
It's what happens, my friend.
I'm sorry that we had to bring it up, you guys. Whoever
I
listening.
mean,
To
it
the
just
7 people that
came
do
up
listen.
in conversation.
Now we done lost to 7. Now we at 5.
You know what? It
We
just
lost
came
2
up in-
people.
I mean, look,
Fuck.
I keep saying Walter might have been raped by a dolphin because if you ever look at his face, it says like I've been raped.
Walter Black, he never been close to water like that. So
Exactly,
Yeah.
my friend.
Look at Walter's face. That was perfect.
Yeah, that's his face for the entire show. Even when he walks out of here, that's just his face.
Nah, it's cool though, because we got an extra light on here when we film, because it glares off his forehead, so you get extra shine. It's like having a panel.
Oh man, but yeah, you know that movie won Best Picture, Shape of Water.
nah, I never seen
It
it.
looks like a good movie.
You know
Oh,
what?
it's new.
Yo,
Yeah.
it's something that you watch that with your girl, and then you say something that got a couple 4-syllable words, and she'd be like, "Yo, he might just be smart."
Yeah. What's going on here? What are we listening
That's
to?
That's
your
your
phone,
phone. You were
asshole.
like, "Yo, silence your shit," and you're out here.
That's not my phone, my friend.
Yo, how your phone look like a Nintendo DS?
Listen, that is not my phone.
How the fuck? That's why I stopped.
I swear it's not my
Son of a
phone.
bitch, tell us. Oh,
My
put that
phone
on silent.
is that? Oh, you know what?
Something you put.
It was.
Listen to her, man.
How is it? You know what? My
That
phone's
is-
getting like junk ads all of a sudden. Like it's popping up on my phone.
Yep.
Like I think there's some sort of app like fucking me over, like sending me like junk mail and shit.
Was
It's-
it an Android?
It
Yo,
is.
you know what it probably is? It's probably that bot that you hit up on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you get a sex bot and you post it up on Craigslist for rent? That's you know what? That's very smart pimping, man.
That could be a lucrative business.
Hell yeah.
You got like 5 or 6
Hey,
real dolls?
we came up with that here, all right? I'm going to invest in a good sex spot. I'm going to post it up on Craigslist. I'm going to rent it out per hour like it's an escort.
Yeah, you just gotta
Yeah.
clean it. I guess you would have to
and then
maintain
you
it.
need a real doll pimp that just picks them all up.
Like, picking them up like it's Postmates. You just drive right by.
Driving around with 5 dolls in his car.
All right, guy, your time is up. You start knocking on the door to pick it up.
Yo, John, can we hit that scene? All right, you're the cop, and I just got pulled over with 5 real dolls in the car just stacked up on top of each other.
No, I wouldn't stack them up. You got to present them nicely. It's part of the
Yeah.
experience.
No, we could definitely pull that. We could pull that off. I'll come in there and just ask you, like, son, what the hell's going on in
Yo,
here?
you know what I've always thought would be fucked up? Like the sex doll customer service hotline. Like, yo, I gotta replace the pussy. I done came too much in there.
Oh man, you imagine being a pimp and you pick up one of your robotic hoes there and you just looking at her and she's got like circuits blasting and you just see on the other side you couldn't see originally and you just see like a little rip under her eye and be like, he hurt you? I'm gonna get him.
No, man, you just claim it in the warranty. Like you pay extra, like insurance. You know when you do car insurance and you're like, would you like to put extra insurance on this bot?
Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm gonna tear it up.
You
Put
know
an
what?
extra $50.
You know what you should do, since they're dolls and dolls aren't humans and people fucking do fucked up shit. You should ask people what they're gonna do with the doll before they take it, just as a
No,
study.
man, that's their business. No. You just add the extra premium insurance, like when you buy a television. You know?
Oh yeah, see? That's right there in the background. We got a little bit of computer love. That's exactly right. It'll be nothing but straight computer love. That'll be a great song to make love to with them. I'll be honest.
Computer love.
You know what? Speaking of women and robotic women, did you guys know that the month of March is Women's History Month?
That's a sick bastard, man.
Yeah, that's.
Why you
That's-
No, I was just saying-
no wonder why you got banned off of Plenty of Fish.
yeah, no shit. Exactly.
I'm
That's like
recognizing the history of women in their month that they celebrated in.
Yo, what's newer, 305 Day or International Women's Day? I feel like
Women's Day
Instagram
was
invented both of those.
I think that I'm gonna put the international one about the same time. I think they might have been 2 years
what
back
day
to
is
back.
that, though?
Huh?
The shit you were just talking about.
International Women's Day.
Yeah, when that is.
I think that was yesterday,
Yeah, yesterday.
Oh man.
but
No, I ain't do nothing
the
for 'em.
entire month is like Women's History Month.
Oh yeah. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Okay, cool.
And I got a question, and I'll ask everyone in this room: if you were a woman actually instead of a man,
Yes.
what type of woman do you think you'd be?
Me?
Well, hold up, John. What type of woman would you be first?
I'd be like an angry one. I'd be like the one at the office, just being angry, like I look like I'd never had dick in a long time and shit.
You know
I'd
what?
be that
And
lady
that
wearing, like,
says a lot.
pantsuits.
That says a lot about you, John. That goes to show you another reason as to why you got banned from Plenty of Fish. Like, these are the thoughts that go in your head. An angry woman from the office.
Yeah, wearing a pantsuit though.
Well, you'd be that bitch.
Like,
the
a, yeah,
pants
like a
bitch.
lot of resentment. I would be, I think I'd be like an artistic chick, but that's like high-end escort, like only like 10,000 and up kind of thing, like on the low.
Okay, so and then you'd have like a sugar daddy in the day or something.
Yeah, but like I'll keep it really discreet. Like I'll travel all over the world and never post any photos of him. It'd just be me, like I paid for it. You know, I do that because I think that, the woman's sexuality is their power. Like they use it so freely and it's so dominating. You know, and I think if I ever became a woman, I would use that.
Yeah, you just
100%.
use sex as like your tutelage there to
Yeah,
make money.
yeah.
I think that a lot of them do that,
Like
man.
Shakira and shit.
Because they know the power from an early age.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're also jerks, so it's kind of like it
Yeah, but so
balances
long
it
as you
out.
give them stuff, they're cool with your attitude at
Not
times.
all of them, John. Come on, man.
Well,
Yo.
not all of them. You're right.
Oh, here
You're
I
right.
want to get into
Cut off
something
all the sex for everybody for saying stuff like that.
interesting.
He don't give a damn.
I fucked with a girl that told me she got a sugar daddy, and then her excuse was, yeah, but I actually like you because I fuck with you and you're broke.
Damn,
What type of woman would you be, Mateo?
stoner chick.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do shit all day. I'll just be that bitch that just fucking eats chicken tenders,
Yeah,
smokes
for real.
that weed.
Yeah.
I might just,
Calling her boyfriend all pissed and shit.
oh hell, just starting fights, just starting drama and shit. I picture myself somewhere between Cardi B and Hillary Clinton, but with no education.
Why Hillary? Like, what trait would you pick up from Hillary?
Hillary's a fucking bitch, man. I think I'm like that.
She's a pantsuit wearer. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I feel like
I that's why I can never be a pantsuit wearer. So if you just hybridize her with Cardi B, you end up with me.
All right. What about you, Mr. Goodnight, with 2 T's?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think when you started this topic, you shouldn't even look my way at the end. Like, yeah. You should just say, you know what, I'm going to skip by this motherfucker because I know he ain't going to have an answer for this because I don't have an answer for that shit. So we're going to go to the next topic.
And I wouldn't expect any other answer from him, to be quite honest. It would have been great if he would have said something.
Mr. Goodnight is very closed off.
Yeah, no,
It's
he's
like,
someone that
I
you
hate
talk
this
to.
topic.
Yeah.
Fuck that topic.
Yeah,
this topic
he's-
sucks too.
Look, I mean, out of 100 topics we do in here, maybe 2 he's
He's
cool
the voice
with.
of reason. I like that, Mr. Goodnight.
Yeah, he has a segment called Next Topic.
Yeah, that's great. It's
Yeah.
a great segue.
Yeah, he does it all the time. He's really good at it. Have we heard it already? Have we gotten to that
Few
point?
times,
Oh
few
yeah,
times,
we did.
few
We
times.
did great. No, he's on point. He's really good with this show. He just stays consistent. Manny, you know what? Getting back to your stuff, man. So we were talking about your rooms. How many rooms are you holding?
Right now,
currently?
I have 5 steady rooms now.
You got 5 rooms.
Steady.
Are they here in Miami only?
Yeah.
Well, it's Miami comedy, so yeah. Don't worry about it, man. You're not allergic. It's probably Walter in here, something making you sneeze. Bless you. That's good luck on the radio
Red
show.
Bar, of course, on Mondays. On Wednesdays, I have the Craftsman, which is our newest room. Those
Okay.
guys are great. I also do Drink House Fire and Ice with the ladies from that bar over there in South Beach once a month for Wednesday Night Live, which is kind of like a VIP comedy show. We bring people in.
I did that show.
Yeah, you did great.
I
Kyle
did.
Cruz runs it. He does a great job. And on Thursdays, we're picking up El Grito, which used to be like a pop-up every once a month in South Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And that room is so amazing. It reminds me of like a New York comedy club, like hidden in the crevices, because it's got a stage.
Right.
It's a mezcal bar, and like everything. The ambiance is so perfect. Low ceiling. And just recently, I picked up a few shows over. They're sending the contract over as we speak at a Trail Theater in Coral Gables.
Nice.
So that's going to be our Friday night show, where it's going to be ticketed. We're going to try to make it into an event. You know.
So you got like a good base out here with many areas working on your Miami Comedy brand, right? Because
Yeah.
it's all under the Miami Comedy brand when you do these rooms, right?
Right. Miami Comedy, apart from the services it provides for people looking for comedy, it's also like a marketing service for people that like want to get their name out there, or their venues out there, or any of the sort.
Do you spotlight comedians here? Because that was something I wanted to get at on what you've been discussing here. So you work on marketing the I guess people looking for comedy, you know, the casual goer or whatnot. But what about the comedians? Do you have like a certain group that you exclusively work with? How do you figure, hey, the guys that I got here for this room are gonna put a great show for me each and every time? Like, how do you work on that or make that determination?
So the close group I work with are the ones that helped out when I was working. So I used to host the Red Bar by myself, and then some people would just come by and be like, "Hey man, do you need help with that? Can I bring that down?" And, you know, so I'm like, okay, these guys, they're very faithful people. They're very like giving kind of people. So I work with them closely. It's only a handful,
Right.
And I understand. I mean, I'm not gonna be like connected to everybody all the time.
course.
So there's some people that kind of just like went out of their way, kind of thing, and you know that says a lot about somebody. They do the booking. So I work closely with Danny Benavente, Travis Benton, Mateo, and Sebastian. And yeah, they book the shows. I do just the website and maintain the content. In terms of putting comedians out there, I think if you do that too much, you're losing focus on the objective, which is a comedy show itself that people go to. So if you kind of like put your face too much on something and you're not really somebody like Kevin Hart,
Yeah.
you're kind of just like wasting your words, because it's like, look, man, I want to go see a comedy show. I really can care less who you are as a comedian, to be quite frank. Like, people go to like hip hop shows, people go to like open mic nights or poetry nights to see poetry, to experience hip hop or a live band. But to be like, oh, this is Tommy, the drummer. He was born in New Jersey, came here to Miami, and just play the drums. Eventually, once you get enough exposure, and your face is starting to get recognized not only for doing the shows at a venue, but podcasting, YouTube videos, your sketch on Facebook went a little viral. All these are, or you show up or you win a competition or any of the sort. Your face then starts becoming the brand itself. So your face then starts representing certain things. So when you look at big names like Bill Burr, Kevin Hart, all these big time comedians, you see their face, and in their minds, an audience's mind, they think about that time you made them laugh in that movie, or how funny your special was, or that cameo you did. So now your face is a brand. However, if you try to do that too early, you're deterring your potential in terms of having a successful comedy event.
So you're working with the comedians when you do your shows to help brand them as well.
Yeah, I've always had a finger on the pulse. I mean, when it comes to the comedy scene in Miami, I always interact with every comedian because it reminds me of me when I started and I was trying to get stage time, and how hard it is, or how hard it is to get through to a booker that only books like the same handful of people. Like, I get all that. However, I've never really progressed with the people I started with, because now those people do their own thing and they're out,
right. They're
winning
doing their own stuff.
competitions and their
They're
shows
doing
and all
their
that.
thing, yeah.
I stay I still stay in zero ground with the local comics, and then I use their talent and they use their website to make a name for themselves and to make a name for the website. So it's kind of like a giving kind of a website as well in terms of the locals,
Right.
because you guys now can go on a show as an open mic. You can, even if you're not booked, you still have an opportunity to go on where there's still an audience. Back then, you would have to wait days before you get in front of a good audience. Like, I remember always, when I first started, I would have to drive all the way to Boca to do a set in front of more than 5-10 people. Because in Miami, sometimes it would be just like 3 people in the audience, 2 people in the audience, and that gets tiresome really quick, because people say, "Oh, if you can make them laugh, you can make anybody laugh." Like, no, I think when you try to make hundreds of people laugh, that's a completely different vibe than trying to make 2 people laugh.
Yep, for sure.
So there's a few thoughts traditionally that kind of deter us from growing, and I think what we need to do is just start talking to a diverse group of people.
There we go.
Right.
And then that helps you grow. So that with the website, that's how I help out the local comedy scene. I provide that. Yeah.
And has it been working? Have you helped
Yeah,
build anyone's brands
the
coming up?
comedians that get it. Some comedians are angry at me, thinking that like I kind of like deter them or I detest them, but it's like that's their own talk in their own head. But yeah, I've had a few people, like, not to name names, but it was more than one. It's been a few.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a handful of them.
Right.
And I understand, but I'm not gonna engage.
Some are harder to work with. You know the thing that, even though we're all trying to be funny on stage, we're so dynamic.
You're dealing with some insane people. Like, sometimes there's some people talking to me outside of these shows, and I'm like, yo, you're
borderline crazy.
probably bipolar, dog.
Yeah, most likely.
And like, neither one of your multiple personalities is really that funny.
Oh, so you gonna crush his dreams? Their dreams, no matter, bro.
Well, all right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the end goal, man. Everybody wins with my vision,
Right?
And it's gonna go further. I think I've got a few ideas that I'm working with in terms of how to go national with it, in terms of online marketing and digital, because everything right now is becoming digital, and it's kind of easy if you know what you're doing. It's easy. Like, you can see it's like a game of chess, or like a puzzle piece,
Right.
And if you just know how to play the game and you do it right, and you start like innovating and considering other people and keeping your reputation good and all these important things, it all comes into place. I think the comedy scene is going to change. I think it's due for a change. The way things are being done.
Now, I haven't been doing comedy for a long time.
You have not?
No, I haven't. I'd say about a little over 5 years. The last few have been more consistent than others. But even from then, looking till now, like, it was so scarce to find comedy or even hear of it. You know what I mean? Nowadays, I'm starting to see a lot of more, areas and places recognizing comedy. We're not there yet out here in Miami, but it's getting there.
Yeah,
Yo,
we will
man.
be, and be thankful that you're starting now,
Yeah.
rather than like 5-10 years from now when it's really popping, because it will.
Yeah.
You can make a name for you, because in Miami, when people get good, they leave, and
Right.
and that's good and bad. What makes it good is the fact that you can make a name for yourself and stay here,
Mm-hmm.
or you can say that the Miami comedy scene is being diluted because every time somebody gets good, they then start representing another city where there's more work.
That does give the chance for people to come up too. So I agree with you, but it's cool because like I've gone to do stand up in LA and New York, and people that I meet from here that go out there are all pretty strong. Because like fucking if you do places like Taurus and Churchill's every week, it's a whole different beast when you're somewhere easy.
Right. I mean, I feel like that. You know, I know that Miami's progressing towards the comedy scene. You know, people are starting recognizing that it's outside of just improvs, because believe it or not, conventional wisdom, people think that comedy is only available here in improvs. Not necessarily, but for the most part, you ask the average casual goer that may like comedy and tell them, hey, where do you think comedy is? Oh, at the improv. And we don't have one anymore. So
Yo, Manny, I got an idea for you. We might have to cut this from the show, but I think with the next logical step in this comedy club thing is a virtual reality comedy club where people could just.
They already did that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. What's his name? Some comedian did. Hardwick, I think, did it. He did a virtual with Comedy Central. You put on the VR headset and he's doing like a live stream and you're there like watching it.
really?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
That defeats. It's not. That the kind of like. Do you think that would work? I think the whole reason people want to go to a comedy show is because you're laughing with strangers in a room.
Oh yeah, but
Not by yourself. Have you tried watching?
no, but how superior is that than a YouTube video?
I think YouTube video is a bit better because you could just see it and you scroll and you just don't like it. You go to the next. This one you're immersed in somebody's point of view the whole time.
I think we do great on 3D.
In a
People
VR
are-
show? Hell
yeah.
that should be fun as fuck.
People will be all in here and they feel like they're sitting right
Have you ever
next to
seen
me.
a comedy show with somebody else on a TV?
A comedy show with somebody
Yeah,
else?
like have you ever seen like a Netflix comedy special sitting
Yeah.
next to somebody
Yeah.
that aren't comedians?
No.
Exactly. you socially sitting with other people and watching a comedy special is just not fun.
It's not.
Because it's like you might laugh at one thing, but the other person isn't, or it's too cerebral for one person, and you thought that one was funny.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
The vibe of watching comedy, the best way is live, because if it's happening raw, right in front of you,
facts.
everybody's in on it. If
That's
it's
facts.
on TV, it's like I don't really care about this comic. I
That's,
put on
that's
something
real
else.
shit. That's facts.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's better live. It's
Yeah.
better going to it because you see it on TV like
It's not the same.
It's not the same because you don't know who he talking about. You ain't there. You
Right,
know, it's
to
just,
visualize just
yeah,
you might
it's
be
weird.
making like body movements, and it just I listen to that sometimes when I listen to those Sirius XM comedy channels, and I hear some of those jokes that they play from the bits, and I can't pick up on it because I'm not there to see the person physically moving. I think that the joke might be funny, but just to see it in person completes the
Nah,
joke
but we
itself.
different. Like I can see the craft in it. If I hear it, I can see.
It's the craft. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is true. If you, I think one of the most entertaining things about stand-up comedy is when somebody makes a really good point of their point of view, and it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Like they're not preachy, they're not trying to convince you. They just say a really good point of view in a very clever way, and you're like, oh wow, yeah, you just clarified that entire concept with something funny.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes stand-up comedy very entertaining.
You know, you said something that I feel is very crucial to success with comedians. Sometimes, because I saw this on your podcast, I got a chance to look at your podcast this week. Mornings with Manny.
Oh yeah, but that's a personal. That's not really comedy.
Oh really? Okay. Well, I saw it on your Facebook feed. I had a chance to look at that, your last one that you did recently. And you said something. I was like, man, that really spoke to my point of view. When it comes to comedy, some of us forget we go on stage looking for the laugh, when rather we should be looking for the crowd that fits our style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I know where you're going, where you're getting from, Mr. Gannett. Because if you want to be the best comedian, you got to make everybody laugh, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Like, what is the term that says become so funny that you become undeniable, right? That's what everyone's trying to achieve. But here's the thing, comedy is so subjective that you lose track of the fact that
You want your tribe.
yeah, when you're communicating,
Find your tribe.
Right.
yeah, when you're communicating, you're communicating to people that share whatever it is that you're saying or who you are or what you are. And then if you focus on that and you stick to that, you'll get success a lot more faster than you trying to be like the best.
Right.
Oh yeah. I get that too. I'm just because like, you go on stage and you doing a bit. You don't know they strangers. you trying your hardest. If they're not laughing, then they're gonna be. If you on there funny, right? To certain people, they're gonna laugh. Certain people not. You gonna pick your fans. Them your fans. The people that like your type of style. The people that's not gonna go to your show, they're not your fans.
Nah, but we noticed that the other day.
Yeah.
It's like when it's the type of people that understand you, yo, I could go on forever.
Right.
But then when it's some gray haired fucking white people, I'm like, yo, I got these 10
Well,
minutes.
if you're a good comedian, you would take into account that like you read the audience, like this looks like a very conservative bunch. I know what not to say. Or if I do have to say it, it's going to be clever enough where they're in on it.
I mean,
So you
actually,
still
no,
trying to be funny
what
the
I've
whole
learned-
time.
Oh yeah,
What
you
I've
have
learned
to
not to
expand
do-
your boundaries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be
Yeah,
funny.
but just I gotta win you over before I can take you there sometimes, especially with my kind of shit. Because if not, you're just gonna be like,
It's all about relatability. And if they like you, man.
Yeah,
one of
that's
the
how-
one of the biggest components to win at stand up comedy is, do they like you?
That's it.
There's a lot of comedians that go up there and like they're liked and their jokes aren't really that good, but they like them so much they're like, well, I don't want this guy to fail, so I'm just gonna laugh at this stuff
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I like him.
I feel like half my shows go like that.
I don't think that's
yeah, I
just
think,
what
yo, John, I think people either hate you or really like you, and it's more people that really like you.
Yeah, I don't have an in between. You're right. It could be an either or. Like I won't get boos. I won't even get heckled. I just won't get laughs.
See,
Or I get silent
you haven't
laughs.
been to rooms where you get booed at.
No, I have not made it.
Because
to
they
that.
they
You
exist.
haven't got
Yeah,
booed
nah, I've been to those.
I feel like I get booed in here a lot. Does that count?
Nah, you just get booted.
Booted.
It's a difference from being
And what
booed.
about I get heckled and booed in here so damn much, Manny. I gotta tell you that these guys.
We're hecklers now. Is what you trying to say?
I feel like you guys heckle sometimes.
That's just comedians hanging out with comedians, man. That's what they do. They gotta
Yeah.
bust your balls.
What's sad is
Yeah,
I wish it
fucking-
was just on the mic, but it expands
Nah,
beyond
yo,
the
it's
mic.
just,
yeah.
you too pussy. We busting your balls, bro, because the balls on your chin probably bigger than your actual balls.
Thank you. Thank you.
This
Mateo.
these guys, Mateo and Sebastian. Every time we do the red bar, it's always the same thing. Like, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? I'm trying to be like a normal person. Like, how's your day going? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, and they hit you with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well,
damn.
yeah, I'm not a regular person. That's what people don't understand. Like, I don't live a regular life, bro.
I've learned that with Mateo, like, you know, we
I
all
don't
went.
live a regular life. You sit here with a laptop.
I took a trip with him to Central
Podcasting
Florida.
with everybody.
I took a.
This
We all
I'm
took a
living
trip.
wild.
Too well.
we learned a little bit about each other. We took a trip to Central Florida a few weeks back, and we learned a great deal. And one of the things that I've always I knew it with Mr. Goodnight here for a while, but with Mateo, I learned it quickly too, that it's hard to talk to them. It's
Talk
like
to who?
walking on eggshells to both these guys.
Oh yeah, because they're always on. They're like,
Yeah. It's like a
Um,
chess match with Mr. Goodnight.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
true.
walking
I
on
can't-
eggshells
I can't.
with Mateo.
I feel drained every time I hang out with
Yeah.
somebody that's like
Not
that.
walking on eggshells. You're more like the Twilight Zone where he's like a chess match.
Yo, it's what I said, man. I'm a retarded philosopher.
Yeah. I think you
That'd be a
might have
great spin-off.
spot on with that one. I think
Great
definitely.
spin-off.
Manny, so what's next for Miami comedy or for you? I mean, what do you got going on? Or
Well, the future right now for Miami comedy is definitely going to be the Coral Gables at Trail Theater.
Yeah.
Once I get a Friday night show going and tickets are being sold, I think I discovered a really good milestone in terms of what's capable with the website. Me personally, I'm gonna switch on over. I mean, I'm gonna be a comedian for the rest of my life. However, I think I'm gonna switch on over to a little more professional stand-up comedy. Do this thing called laughwise.com, where I combine infotainment with stand-up comedy and talk about like Tony Robbins or like a TED Talk, but
Yeah.
like, of stand-up comedy. So-
okay, so you want to do like a little spotlight for the comedians and help promote them? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna stick to stand-up comedy, but I'm bringing in more professional aspects to it. So I think like I would do a TED Talk on how to market a website and make it like an hour
Okay,
special.
I see what you're saying.
And make it funny about
Yeah.
websites and like do that. I think that would be a good angle with my skills and what I'm into, and go that route. I still have more websites in the works. However, I haven't marketed them as good as I did Miami Comedy.
Sure.
I have a marketing consultation. I have a few clients through Thumbtack. Have you heard of that website, Thumbtack? People post like little gigs and you pick it up.
No, I'm just horrible with the internet.
So the future would be like building websites for high-end clients. Then maybe retail. I always used a print shop to make sure it's sold
Oh.
a few of them on Etsy.
That's right. I've seen that you sell sometimes those they're like novelty shirts.
Yeah, and I would come up with one idea, put it on Etsy, put an advertisement dollar on it, and then some of them actually go viral. Like I made this shirt of Donald Trump dressed as the Pokemon kid with the hat, but it says "Make America Great Again." He's throwing a Pokeball, and like it's chasing this Mexican-looking Pikachu with a sombrero on. It's got like little mustache.
I think I've seen that one.
And I posted it on Etsy, and it's sold like crazy.
What do you think we should do? What type of shirt would you suggest for our show, the Everyman show?
It should be on top of a wall, falling down, and then me and Theo pointing and laughing.
Yeah,
oh, like a Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, dude. That damn.
I was just about to say that.
Hey,
That was fast,
you,
Mateo.
guys.
Very well said. I totally picture that. Yeah. No, it would be a cracked egg on the floor, not sitting. Like the wall is there.
With sunglasses on.
Yeah, the sunglasses on.
yeah,
But you still have a very like nonchalant look on your face, like like not grinning. Not,
yeah.
Not,
No,
not
that's
sad.
perfect.
And then these guys are dressed like the Kingsmen, like crowns
Yeah.
and shit, and like they're holding a blunt, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just pointing and laughing. I could
Yo,
totally see that.
Theo
shirt.
got the bottle of Sobieski in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we got Noodles somewhere back there, just like hanging out in the bushes, just fucking zoned out.
In a Raiders jersey?
In a Raiders jersey, right. We can't do it anywhere. And we'd have like Marlon like joining in the laughs with you guys. And Walter exactly the way he is right now.
Yo, we could
Sitting in a corner in a chair.
That'd be a good shirt idea. Let me know if you want to design it.
Yeah, no, I think this is a must now. I think we have to. I'm telling you, all
can
5
get it
listeners of the show will get it.
Also, SakeruStore.com. Help me feed myself. I'm selling T-shirts too.
All right, that's your shameless plug of the week there.
Yeah, that's my shameless plug.
Okay, great. I'm with you.
I just got
So
an
you know
Instagram
what,
business account. I'm doing things.
Manny, I gotta admit, man, I had a great time with you here. Did you have fun?
Yeah,
on the
man,
show?
I love podcasting. It's not enough here in Miami. You guys are doing.
Do
a
you do any
fantastic job.
outside of the I guess the little pieces you were doing with Mornings with Mandy?
With Mandy.
With Mandy, I'm a little slurred right now. That's been help with the Jameson here.
Well, Mornings with Manny is kind of like it's a personal journal, I guess. Like I just do it to engage with people on my Facebook because
Yeah,
I mean
that
everybody.
was really good, man.
Everybody experiences where you have like 1,000 friends, but you're only getting engaged by like
2 people. and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. No,
so
I've seen that.
I go live every morning just to talk to people, and
Okay.
then when you see their name pop up on the chat.
I heard you shout them out.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you been? Everything cool?" So the whole aspect of Mornings with Manny on Mondays is to do that.
Yeah.
And then later on, once I start like getting a little more of a hang of doing that every Monday morning, and maybe a professional production where there's a good background rather than my living room, eventually I'll probably take it off into like a morning talk show kind of thing or something.
Shit.
Like, yeah, that's my angle for that. But I should turn that into a podcast. I think a personal podcast.
Do you do any now, or was that the only
I'm
thing you were
talking
doing?
to SoFloRadio.com to do one on Tuesdays because I've always been looking for a Tuesday night room.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem to come off where like the room is fine or the venue owners get it. So I'm like, I think it's better if we make an event where we're fully in control, just like this, like advertise, hey, we're going to do this live stream. This person's going to be here. That person's going to be here. We're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
And then push that on the website and then make it into SoundCloud and Spreaker and all the channels of podcasting. I think that would be fun. It would be a good idea. But the thing is, podcasting in other people's studio. You got lucky with this one. Shout out to
Yeah, shout out to Wake and Vape Studios and Mr. Day County.
Because to
hey,
get a
Mr.
studio-
Day County, are you around?
to get a studio, man. They'll hit you up, man. And this one, like if they gave it to you,
He's great. Let me tell you.
I'm so sorry if I'm ruining your business model.
Nah,
probably
nah.
the owners in the
there
back, like,
he
yeah,
is.
I should.
God damn, man.
I
You know
should
the
charge
show's
these
about to
guys.
wrap up, and you have not been anywhere. You said you were gonna come join the show, and you just been taking off.
No, I made it.
What's up, man? What you been up to? What were you doing this whole time? You back and forth in here working hard, bro?
No working, man.
Or is that the FBI and me
Yo,
asking questions?
Nah.
again?
This is a busy workshop. That's all people need to know. Wake and Vape Enterprises.
Yeah. I gotta admit, with him in here, man, he's been really great with allowing us be in here inside the Wake and Vape Studios to do our podcasts every Friday that we try to do them. He's been great, man. We got
Good
a great
name,
cast
too.
in here.
Very good name.
Yeah, that's
Killed it.
Mr. Day County now, right? Yeah. Did you know, Mr. Day County, that it was 305 day the other day?
And you have the website.
Yo, you saw.
You sell the stuff through there.
Yeah, if you know anyone out there listening, if you guys are interested in
Wake
vaping products,
vape.com. Get your shit. Cop that.
exactly.
Blow it in
So-
everybody's face. Just put it all in your cartridge and just go. cloud up the whole bus. Even when kids are in there in the morning going to fucking New World and shit, just cloud that bitch up.
We got some I guess some wake tricksters. I don't know how to say it, guys.
Vape triggers.
Vape triggers.
Yo, John, I forgot to talk to you about Little Pump. We got to do the struggle rap.
Really
segment.
quick, I want to wrap this up and just kind of call it quits here. What do we got?
All right, so look. This is going viral.
This
Lil
is going
Pump
viral.
has been trying to get with the girl from iCarly, who's the girl from School of Rock, right?
Right.
So he did that. He made a cake for her and shit just because he's really trying to smash. Then he caked, and now she filed a restraining order against him.
Man, Little Pump's got more issues. He killed a door. Oh, man, Manny, you know what, man? You're a friend of the show. You're welcome back whenever you like. Anything you want to come and share with us about Miami comedy, it's important.
Shout out to you guys, man. Doing a podcast, bringing in the comedy scene together. This is it's things like this is what we need. Consistent podcast.
Exactly. Let people know that we're out there, man.
Communities getting together. No, I'm too big for that. But no, I think this is a great
you
idea.
saw the change in John's voice when he asked. Like his voice was cool, and then he's like,
And it just went down, and it's like, okay.
No,
Sorry.
you guys are doing a great job, man. So congrats on your podcast.
Thanks,
I really hope a lot of success for you. But I think the secret is consistency. Never stop. Keep doing it. Get it to episode 500, 1,000. You'd be surprised.
I think we will, and we promise that at that point we will pay Mr. Goodnight in Monero in here. Have you ever had money in Monero?
Yo, I want Ethereum. You're.
What was the other one? Ripple?
Oh, Old Dirty Bastard got his own coin now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's currency.
Fucking Khalees got a bunch of that shit.
Get out of here. Is this for real?
Yeah, he made his own. That's how you buy his merch now. You got to buy his coin to buy his merch.
The Old Dirty Bastard coin. But you got any places you want to plug real quick before we sign off?
Yeah, just check out the website, miamicomedy.com. If you're a comedian, come out to any of our shows. Mondays at the Red Bar, Wednesdays at the Craftsman, Thursdays at El Grito, or if you're somebody just likes watching comedy shows, check out any of those days. And, of course, the Trail Theater in Coral Gables. Check us out. We're going to be doing Friday shows starting in May.
Awesome. Hopefully I get to be one of those lineups and we'll be able to entertain you guys,
All right,
either
I
me
gotta go now.
Yeah.
or Mateo. All right.
He asked for too much shit.
Shout out to Manny.
That-
Thank you again.
That coin is probably the only cryptocurrency that smells bad.
All right, guys. Well, we're signing off with this. I'm John Everyman. This was episode 9 of the Everyman Show. Shout out to Mateo, Mr. Goodnight with 2 T's, our fearless producer, Noodles. Fuck you, Walter, as always. Shout out to Mr. Dade County in the background, Conspiracy Ken. Thank you for coming through. Guys, we'll see you on the next episode. Peace out, bitches.
And cop you some of that cake. And tell them I sent you. And to all the states that ain't legalized it yet, get on board, man. We need the green. Make the world a better place.